Stillborn children. Bad harvests. Too much rain, too little rain. These superstitious cretins would blame it all on me in an instant, as soon as it suited them. Nothing like finding a common enemy as an excuse to get your neighbor to turn the page on your sins against them, or the hated mayor who directs the village's malice towards an easy target. Where does that lead one with powers such as mine? To use them in just the way that they'd expect? Oh, I could grow claws out of my hands and tear their throats out. I could fly up in the sky on my broom and watch them gaping below. I could use my charms to smell as sweet as a flower and acquire the looks of angels, gaze into their minds and find out their most disgusting secret, poison them with my concoctions or burn their eyes out with my acid spit. But that would only prove them right. So I fled. I was making my way to the bigger cities. Curiosity led me like a cat seeing a rustle in the grass. What lord could I find who would listen to my every silken word, showering me with riches while I continue my studies and experiments? I never made it that far, because the grass rustled in another direction. This Ylwa. Such a strange name for one of her kind. Ylwa would have made more sense to me, but what's in a name? She believes that I will lead her to glory and power. Maybe I will. She is a magnificent woman, devoid of man-made rules of society, and with great physical assets. She will do. This is Red Moon Roleplaying.
A cold northerly wind blows through the ruins of the old cloister. The situation is tense. Our free travellers did their best to try and sneak up on the bandits currently camped in this place, but sadly failed and rose the alarm. Still, they moved forward bravely, and Ylwa, you charged out ready to face the first opponent you saw. However, you were forced to stop when a voice yelled out from somewhere unseen that a crossbow was aimed directly at you. And so for the moment, you have stopped moving. So has the orc standing in front of you. Everyone is anxiously waiting to see what happens next. Ylwa, what are you doing?
I'm waiting. Not really much for talking myself, but let's see what they wish to wait for.
Some seconds pass. You hear a voice calling out again. Ylwa, you can tell it must be from someone in that keep floor one level above you. They obviously got there quickly. Well, good. We can talk like civilized beings. Who are you? Bounty hunters? Mercenaries?
Bandit killers.
Bandit killers. Yes. A finaling. Although, strange. People normally face people head on. They don't sneak in.
Well, there's no honor in dying.
No, I agree. My companion has a crossbow bolt aimed right at your head, but there is no need for bloodthirsty violence. Is it just you? I thought I saw some others. Tusk says there was a woman. 2 more women.
Well, I think he has a point. Yes, I would not come alone.
Irinja, what are you doing? There is discourse happening. You see Izella look at you like, we don't have time for this, we need to do something.
Right. So, I look out at the courtyard. I see Ylwa standing there. I see the furry orc. And I hear the voice echo across the courtyard as well. And you say that across the courtyard on the other side is a door leading into the keep?
There are some doors and some holes, yes. If you walk out past Ylwa, keep walking, eventually you'll reach a building with doors and holes in and walk into what must be, again, part of the original cloisters. Maybe that was the living quarters if you're currently in the chapels.
There is an interesting thing that I mentioned before, the spell Harmless Shape, which is taking the shape of an inconspicuous person, such as a servant or beggar, something that does not attract attention at the current location. But I cannot choose what I turn into. The spell itself picks the shape automatically. I'm wondering if I could use this somehow to just try and get in there and distract whoever is aiming their crossbow bolts enough to give my companions a bit of a fighting chance here.
You can certainly cast this spell, but it's important to note you will still be seen. You just will not appear to be harmless. You might, for example, appear like a child or a little woodland creature. It will be whatever makes sense at this moment in time.
You never know with this kind of magic, and it's so fun, and I'm deadly curious about what's inside this keep, and also how many people are actually here. Now that we're here. Oh, it would be so fun. I try and cast the spell, unable to control my own curiosity.
And you begin making the incantations. This takes 4 actions, of course, which does mean you have to wait just a few more moments. As you are casting the spell, however, Izella does sort of look at you like, what are you doing? Meanwhile, outside, Ylwa, you can just hear your friend muttering something under their breath. They must be casting a spell. So, why don't the other 2 come out? Let's talk this over. You're bounty hunters, I understand. I can offer you. What are they paying you? You can have some of what we have. Be on your way.
How much are you willing to offer?
Let's see. We have some grain. What did we steal from that merchant? A few bits of iron. Probably you could fetch 10 ducats worth, maybe 15. That's reasonable, it's almost half.
What did Isala offer us?
You haven't been offered anything directly, you've been promised a reward. Now, the reward could be up to anything. A baron's reward for bandits might be all the way up to 40, 50 ducats. But of course, that requires more killing. And while you do enjoy killing, crossbow bolt, tricky. There's a chance you could get hurt.
There is, of course. You can do better than that, surely, I say, and I'm basically trying to buy time while my friend is casting her spell.
You hear the orc go, "We should not barter with them, Darian. We should face them in battle now. No tusk. We can't. Fine, you can have everything. Must be 25 ducats worth of stuff here." Irinja, as you're casting your spell, you do think to yourself, they're willing to give you everything. That's very weird bandits, huh?
It is very strange. And it's disrupting me. I'm trying to cast my spell. But another bit of curiosity strikes me too hard. I get distracted, and I don't manage to succeed with my spell. Do I still use my arcane energy?
If you say you get distracted and thus fail your spell, I'm afraid you still pay 1/3 of the cost.
I can't focus in here. Not with them going on like this. I look at Azella. What is she doing? Is she gone out?
She doesn't seem to know what to do. She doesn't want to go out and be in range of the crossbow. She knows that would be bad, but she's looking at you like time is wasting. She's getting very anxious about all this.
So, but she wants to just kill them.
Kill them? Capture them? I mean, you could ask her right now if you want.
Yes, he's offering a very generous prize. What do you think we should do?
We're not going to take his bloody prize. Wait, maybe you can, if we could just get him, that would be enough, like, because if they're bandits, they'll run away when their leader is dead, right? If we could just get him out, maybe somehow. She does seem to be getting rather anxious and annoyed during this situation. Is it possible some of this rubs off on you? Remember, as a witch, if you are experiencing a high level of emotions, you can use that as a bonus to your spellcasting.
I do get very annoyed and a bit perplexed with this strange situation here, and I try to channel that into anger, passionate anger. I would like to cast Sachuarius Splendor, of making myself even more attractive, to see if I can strike a harder bargain here, or maybe convince someone to do something stupid.
So, that spell has, again, 4 actions, cost of 8 AE, so you will begin starting to cast it. When successfully cast, it will give you a bonus to seduction, flirting, romantic arts, or fast talk flattering, equal to the quality level of the pass. So again, you begin casting a different spell. Spells take time. You can't really rush them. You can influence them a little, of course, using various meta-magic feats, which you do have, but...
I can, yes, I can make the casting time longer, for example.
Or shorter. But in this case, time is moving forward slowly. We're not actually in a fight. You can also add a +2 to this roll due to your heightened emotions. Ylwa, once again, you think you hear the spell change. Like the muttering was a different sort of muttering, and now it's changed again. You see the orc looking sort of behind you. He's like, "They should come out now!" The voice says, "Tusk, no!"
What's the story here, anyway? You captured our newfound friend here. What was all that about? Was it just to get a ransom? Was that it?
Captured your friend? I don't know you. Do I know anyone with you?
Oh, you would. She was your prisoner not long ago.
Ah, interesting. You speak of Ylwa, the daughter of the local Reeve.
The very same.
She told you we kidnapped her first, did she? How interesting.
Oh, you're bandits, aren't you?
We are bandits. We're not killers. You should ask your friend what she wanted us to do.
What are you saying? She asked you to do something?
Ylwa calls out. We have no time for your lies, Darian. They won't believe anything you say. So, it matters not. Why don't you come out honorably, as you were once a knight, I know, and we can sort this out properly. I gladly will, Ylwa, if you tell the truth. Tell me, Fjarling, she hasn't told you that she wanted us to murder her father for her?
Well, that sounds very dishonorable. Is that true, Ylwa?
Ylwa looks at you. Again, you are just about finishing your spell, but still casting it, and Ylwa just looks like grits under her teeth. Of course it's not true. They're bandits, Ylwa. You said it yourself. He's just stalling for time.
But what is he stalling for? There's nothing to stall for. They could just open fire on us if they wanted to. They clearly don't want to start the fight with us. They're not buying time. They're trying to solve this peacefully, it seems.
Indeed. Why don't you let the woman speak? I am all for diplomacy. I am willing to answer any question you have, Fjarling.
Well, tell us everything you know then about what's going on here, and about our supposedly duplicitous colleague.
My pleasure. Last evening, she rode up on her horse to our camp. I guess she must have been watching us for some time to find out this is where we camp. She came up to me and offered me a large reward to murder her father. I don't know why. She didn't give a reason. Maybe to take succession, although I'm pretty sure if she is the daughter, that wouldn't matter, because by law, she rightfully would be the ruler of the manor. I'm not sure what's going on there. Suffice to say, I am not a killer. I have killed to defend, but when we rob people, I give them a chance, and only attack when they attack back. I do not kill old men in their homes. It is not what my crew do.
Honorable thieves.
Precisely. You see Taskly Orc kind of grunting, but he's nodding along, and you see Azella looking at you like, do you honestly believe any of this?
Well, I mean, come now, Isella. What reason have they to lie? He certainly seems to be, well, not your typical bandit, now does he?
Azella frowns a little. Irinja, you cast your last syllable. You can now roll your check.
That was quite a lot of time. Can I increase the casting time then?
Does that give you a +1 to the check?
Yes.
Then you can.
Good. I'm trying to focus here. There's too much chatter about, so I'm taking a little bit of extra time to make sure I get it all right. I don't even know if this will prove useful, but it is fun. So let's see then. No, I fail again. Magic is, well, skills are hard. Oh, I get so annoyed.
Well, all this distraction, unfortunately, does mean that your spell just doesn't... You just suddenly stop, and again spend 1/3 of the Aether points.
I get so angry that I storm out into the courtyard. Oh, this is annoying. What is all this nonsense? Come out here, Azella. You say this man used to be a knight and now he doesn't want to fight? You try to... We'll happily take your treasure and just be done with this.
Azella looks at you like, they are going to kill you! Darian goes, well, now the situation's changed a little. Is Azella there? Come out, Azella. Enough of this hiding. And Azella frowns, looking at both of you, and just steps out. Let us start with some proper introductions. My name is Darian of Bergsholm Steinhauer. Once a knight of, well, the kingdom no longer here. Dar Patia. You are, honourable warrior woman?
I'm Ylwa of the Fjornings.
Yes. I'm going to come down. There's still a crossbow bolt on us, but let us speak a little better. And after a few moments, you see coming from that building, again, keeping a little distance, this man come down with full plate, currently holding a sword and a shield. He has flecks of grey in his beard and tightly cut hair, and carries himself with a hint of nobility. Hardly that of a bandit, but more of someone who is used to speaking to nobility and holding themselves with honour. Right. Perhaps you two are willing to come to a different arrangement. Something tells me you're not willing to join my crew, and I don't think we'd want to have you. Out of interest, 2 people were sent after you. What happened to them?
I killed them.
The orc growls angrily, but again you see Darian sort of put a hand up. He sighs and shakes his head. That is unfortunate. They were good people, but that is the life. Very well. What say you two? We give you everything we have, and you let us go. You could even... you can even deal with her however you wish. I no longer care.
Oh, well, that's generous. That will get us paid. But I feel like we must learn a little bit more about what really is going on here. And Isella, I think it's best for you now to tell us what's really going on here.
I've told you all I need to, Azella says. They attacked me. They are bandits. Talking with them, this is meaningless. You could attack him right now. You could go for him right now.
And I move up to her with my war axe in my hands, and I try to make myself as big and as threatening as I possibly can. You will tell me the truth.
I'd like you to make me an intimidation check, keeping in mind that the skill rank, in this case, is 2. So even for you, so 2 more than it already is. For the point of adding to things because of your skill specialization in intimidation. She will, however, try and resist with her willpower.
The first one is against courage. I roll 12 underneath 14 plus 2, then so that's 16. So that is okay. Then 13 underneath intelligence, which is 13 plus 2, then 15, so that's also fine. And then finally a 13 against charisma, which I have 10 in, 10 plus 2 in that case, right? So that's 12, that's a 1 skill point that I have to use, which leaves me with 8 points, giving me a quality level of 3 as I succeed this skill test.
Isella is firm for a moment. She is not a woman who is riled easily. She has all the courage and confidence that a young noble knight would have. But you are very intimidating yourself, and so even though she gets a quality level of 1, it did take quite a bit to get there, and your quality level of 3 means that she does just step back a little. She's not afraid of you, but she is intimidated as you come up. What? I thought you were a woman of honor. Is this... what? Let me guess, are you going to join them? Join in on the bounty for a young noble knight to their father?
No, but I am not going to work for someone who doesn't tell me what I need to know when I go into a situation. They could have killed me, you know, and I still have to find the secret of steel. You know, I cannot die before I do that. So why don't you tell me what's really going on here, Isella?
She is looking very angry, very annoyed, and she just quickly looks to you, Irinja. There's nothing to tell you. What are you going to do? Are you with her now? Are you turning against me like this?
I'm leaning on my staff, and I'm just yawning, looking another way.
No, I should have thought so. A witch and some fjarnling. She's looking around, clearly trying to see if she can find some way of getting away from you. What do you do, Ylwa?
There is no way out of here. They have the crossbows, you know, pointed this way, and I'm standing right here with my axe. I just really want you to make sense of the situation. He's saying one thing, you're saying something very different. Somehow, I believe you less. I don't know why. Perhaps it is the way you're acting right now.
I may have attempted to have used these bandits for a favor. Fine. And they, being bandits, kidnapped me and were going to ransom me back to my father. Are you happy?
Well,
They're still bandits. They are lawbreakers. And you will still get a reward if you help me take them in. Or at least, it's Darian. And Darian, you hear say, good. She finally tells the truth.
that is admirable of her, isn't it? Well, you see, myself and Irinja, we have places to be, and this is not necessarily where we want to be, right?
Well, unless you need to get your bloodlust immediately sated again. I don't mind. Money will help us on our way, that is all. And I look over to Isella. Isella, you want to be free of your father? Why do you even bother trying to kill him? Why don't you just leave?
Do you have any idea how it works around here? I own Sunfield Manor. I shall be the ruler of it.
Oh, so it's greed then? Well, fine.
It's not greed. No idea what you're talking about, you stupid woman. And Darian says, that's what I'm confused about as well. She is legally entitled to the land. Killing her father gets her nothing. He's only a stepfather after all.
So, why do it then, Isella? Do you not like him?
Yeah, and I cock my head now. Now I'm actually curious.
Would you even care?
Well, this is quite a story. Please, why don't you just indulge us? This is curious. What are you trying to do?
She is looking at you with pure hatred in her eyes, like, oh, I'm so glad that my life is an amusement to you, witch.
I smile.
She spits on the ground. Pray I'll take you to... Ugh. She looks at you, Ylwa, and just mutters under her breath, so only you really hear, although Irinja also would just about hear. He drove my mother to her death. You happy?
How did that happen?
He had an affair. It caused her to become seriously ill. She died. I was not able to return home in time before her death. And then I arrive and he acts like there's nothing going on at all, but I know about what he did. It's because of him she became so ill and died. She'd still be here if not for him. He deserves justice.
I look thoughtful. Oh, vengeance. Well, that I can understand.
Yes, I am familiar with the concept as well. I can see how you might be upset by it, but it seems like you're going to get what you want anyways. Why do something as dangerous like this?
It's not about... I don't care about the title. I care about him facing justice for what he's done.
And so you want to kill these bandits? How does that help you kill your father?
Darian chimes in. No, she wanted us to kill her father. I refused.
And that's why you want to kill all of them? These people?
Get rid of the witnesses.
Both of you aren't quite sure how it works in these lands, but you're pretty sure that normally getting bandits to kill your father, who is a landowner, probably is a bit illegal.
Now, Isela, that sounds very little like justice to me. How about this, Darian? You were going to ransom her, weren't you?
He looks at you, raising an eyebrow. Well, yes, but I have a feeling that will have passed. I imagine. Did you reach an inn by any chance?
Yes, we did.
I see. I find it unlikely that she wouldn't have let the locals know where you were going. Sadly, that means the Baron's people will be here soon. They didn't know we were coming here, but at least one of them will know this location. No, we're going to have to leave. The sooner the better.
Right. Well, then let us just take what we can get from this place, anything we can carry with us. Right, Irinja? We don't want to leave empty-handed, and Darren, you can be on your way and find happiness elsewhere, and Isela, I wish you the best with, well, everything.
Yes, I suppose the road calls.
Isela looks at you like, what do you mean? What? You're just going to just take their stuff and go?
Well, we have places to be.
Money helps us in our travels. What do we gain from this?
Well, for starters, you'd have gained the reward from the Baron, which will be significantly better than the reward they're going to give you of their stolen goods. Stolen goods, by the way. You realise that there'll be men coming this way soon.
Yes, and Isela, when they come, I am afraid that we are witnesses, aren't we? I think you will want to kill us, won't you?
Well, you know, I suppose they are still bandits.
Darian comes forward to you a little, Irinja. I propose we leave you everything we have. You let us go. We're not going to come back to these lands again. You've already killed 2 of my men. There's only me and my friend, and he just saw his eyes again just quickly go back to that keep. We will leave. We have no interest in revealing her deeds. Clearly that's what she fears from us. I don't care. She can get revenge on her father however she wants. I only care about my men.
As he comes up to me, I hold out my hand to lay it on his shoulder, lazily. Can I do that?
You can, although he does just take a little step back as you do, just a little unsure why you just suddenly did that. But you did for a moment have your hand on him.
Okay, then I didn't get time to cast anything. Well, I think you're an interesting man, I say.
There's little of interest to me, madam. In many ways I am a failure, except in one. So what do you two say? You can have all the things we've managed to collect. Give us just a moment to get some basic supplies, and we'll be leaving this land. If you were concerned about bandits, you've defeated these bandits.
Yes. It has been an honorable fight, and it has been won. Let's get what we can take with us and get out of here. Shall we, Irinja? And we can leave. Isela, I really do not dare to stay and wait for the other men to come because, well, I really don't think that she will forgive us for this.
Ysla, looking at you, says, I won't, but I can't exactly stop you either. And she just looks down at the ground, clearly really upset about all this.
Fine. Let's just do this, whatever. I don't care. It was a pleasure meeting you, Ysla. We had a nice little trek together in the forest. I shall remember it fondly. So, Ylwa, let's gather our due and be on our merry way.
So Darian nods and goes, Tusk, go and quickly fetch them some of the stuff. Tusk walks past you and you just see him lock eyes with you, Yao, and say, Darian, they killed our own. There should be vengeance had. Tusk, please. There'll be men coming. We don't have time. This way we get to live. I know I'll miss Rustfur and Ylwin as well. The orc kind of growls, but he abides. Interesting. And he quickly goes, and a few minutes pass, and then he kind of shows you this way leading up to some stairs. Darian goes, give us 5 minutes. We'll be gone. Then go in there. I assure you there'll be everything we have. No trickery here. I swear on Rondra.
Well, I shall trust you.
Good. I knew your people were trustworthy. I didn't think you were assassins. And he actually smirks a little.
And I smile back at him.
And they go. And 5 minutes pass. And nothing happens, and they are gone. If you follow where you were told, you find your way into this central keep. And you see a large amount of crates, wood, metal, a few things. Not too bad at all. And you see some stairs leading down. Maybe you, Yawa, find yourself wondering, wait, where have they gone? Weird.
Not so vulnerable after all, I suppose. Well, is there anything of value left at all?
Oh yes. This is what they said was of value. I mean, it's a lot of basic stuff, but if you pull it all together, sell it to various merchants, you might be able to get up to 25 ducats, maybe.
Right, but there would need to be something smaller. We have to get out of here before the other men come. Cannot travel around with some caravan.
This is true. Well, maybe a box of something then. Maybe this box of this iron ore. That could be 10 ducats.
Well, that seems small enough then.
You haul up a little crate. Irinja, what are you doing? Your cat is moving around, and you do hear, just from somewhere in the distance, there does seem to be the sounds of the horses coming from somewhere.
Yes, I try to assess what's in here and just take what could be sold. I'm a practical person when it comes to making a living, even though I would have perhaps rather stayed in some rich nobleman's company for a while and just fed off of his resources. This can do as well, as long as we keep pace, moving through these lands, exploring what we are set out to find.
And you also find another 10 ducats worth of various things, various loot if you will, none of it impressive, but again, worth something to someone. And you find yourselves out in the courtyard. Ysla is just staring at you. By herself now. Again, they seem to all have gone. Not quite sure where they could have gone, but they're no longer here. Interesting.
Oh, the road calls. It was good meeting you, Ysla.
I'm sorry things didn't turn out as you'd hoped. Well, if you do really want to get rid of your father, why don't you slip some of this into his drink next time he looks away, and I hand over a small pouch.
What? What is this?
Oh, this will just shorten his lifespan just enough for you to, well, give him a final smile. No traces.
She looks at it for a moment and then throws it to the ground, muttering, I'm not a poisoner.
Well, if vengeance isn't that important, I say, and I kneel down and I pick it up again.
What would you two know of anything? Thought you were of noble valor. You let bandits just go free like that. Regardless of the situation, you still should have done something.
Noble valor indeed.
Whatever, you can go. I have no time for you.
She is a funny one, isn't she, I say as I turn around. Talking about noble valor, trying to hire a group of bandits for herself.
I think that will come back to bite her at some point in the future, I say as we walk off. Well, we will be long gone then.
And Gisela watches you go, her eyes filled with frustration, anger. But she doesn't say or do anything, merely folding her arms as she watches you depart the cloister. As you look back, you do see her finally going to the stable area to collect her horse. How do you exit? Do you head out on the main road? That's probably where people are starting to come.
No, we want to keep somewhat away from this posse that's out, so try to stay hidden. There's only the two of us, so we should be able to travel fairly quietly.
Yes, well, now if we're getting out of sight of people who are so inclined to judge quickly, I'll happily just swing onto my walking stick and lower myself down from the height we've been on, traveling on it, using my flying skill.
And indeed, it is easy enough to do as you, on your broomstick, hop on, your cat quickly hopping on with you, and you just magically levitate down that slope. For you, not quite as an easy a descent, Yawa, but easy enough. You both make the way back to the forest the way you came, which does just manage to get you in, as you can just see, coming up on that main road, 10 or 20 horsemen, all clad in armour. Knights most likely of the Sabble Guard, coming to the cloister. Now that you think back, you do recall in the tavern where you first met Gisela, that she did, after a little bit of an argument with the tavern keeper, who greatly insisted, of course, that you go to the guard straight away, that he did eventually let you go on, but did mention that he'd be sending word to the nearby barony as soon as possible. So it does make sense that they finally have caught up with you, especially if they were following the tracks that you probably didn't really do your very best to cover up, not expecting to be followed yourself after all. Luckily, you don't think they'll be able to follow you now. As for Darian and his people, well, they'll be caught if they're on the road, but again, you didn't see them go on the road. They must have got out somehow. Maybe there was somewhere below? You're not quite sure. And so, you find yourselves in the woods as evening begins to descend. What are the two of you doing? It seems day is over. You have some goods that you can sell for maybe a grand total of 20 ducats each. That's a little disappointing. The reward the Baron could have given you was more 50-60 for bandits.
Yes, but we were able to leave with our lives. Now, Irinja, we have a little bit more money to keep us going here, but I'm afraid we really need to start looking for that secret. I need to bring it back to my people, you see.
Of course. And if we happen upon the boars again, I could cook up a nice little boar stew for tonight. But you know, why did you let them go? I don't understand. It was a chance to just slay some dishonorable bandits.
Call me sentimental, I guess. It just seemed wrong. It was all based on a lie. I mean, it was honorable at first. It felt good when we were doing it to kill bandits, but then it turned out we were working for someone who was lying to us. It left a bad taste in my mouth. It sullied the slaughter we did before. I don't think it would have felt right. No. Plus, it was very, very dangerous. We do have to survive, There are more glorious battles waiting ahead.
Of course. It's just... Well, he was a handsome fella. I do hate it when things get complicated like that. You find out there's more drama, this and that. Him being a knight. I wonder what the story is there. Oh, well... I'm sure we can pick something else up along the way. I try to navigate the best direction from here, leading on to our ultimate goal, using my orienting skill, and then start setting on my way.
And so you begin making your way through the luminous woods. Eventually night will fall and you'll probably have to camp, but eventually you'll get back on the road, I'm sure, and continue your journeys. The question is, Ylwa. What is Ylwa thinking as the day comes to an end? Who was right? Was anyone right? She believed justice should be meted out on these bandits, and bandits they were. They did admit that. Honourable bandits is still banditry, it's stealing, and even killing. But then she was going to use them to kill her father. That is very dishonourable. Certainly illegal. In your people, you maybe challenge them to a duel, but it would still be a very, very strange thing to want to kill your family so easily. Who was right? What do you think today of justice?
Yes, it is all so complicated down south. It's much simpler up north. We tend to say what we believe and what is in our hearts. Here it seems to be all about deception and lies. It is all a bit disappointing, to be honest. Who was right, who was wrong? Well, they were both wrong, I suppose. I was with her, though, up until her lying to us. I really can't abide by that. No, that betrayal, that was too much. Yes, they were bandits, but they were at least honest. That's something.
And I feel that would be all there is, really. What had occurred to you, I think, not knowing the culture of these lands. Things like, well, maybe she didn't want to tell you because she was worried you would then tell others and she would be executed. It is, after all, a crime. But, nah, I think we'll leave you with those thoughts. And what of you, Irinja? What do you think of all this? Certainly became a bit more complicated. Was either side right? Do you even care?
It's so nice to watch Ylwa fight. Those bulging muscles as she swings her battle axe. It's a shame it didn't come to that. I don't care about knights and lords and runaway daughters in the least. It's all rather banal. I like the passion watching things happen, not just standstills like that. And it would be fun, it would be a nice reward, so I'm slightly disappointed that things didn't turn out another way. And also, I do understand her need for vengeance, this Isella. It's a pity that she couldn't be upfront with us from the start.
Indeed. Again, you at least may be a little more familiar that, obviously, the whole thing was she was worried about someone revealing her nature. But it was strange, wasn't it? Such a young woman, a knight. Seemed almost not like true vengeance, but more just like childish anger, maybe to you?
Yes, defiance. But I wouldn't call someone who had lost their mother because of someone and wanted revenge for that. I wouldn't call that childish anger. That's more vengeance for me.
Indeed.
If someone were to hurt my little Katzinka, oh, they would face my wrath. Oh, if I had just succeeded with those spells, working myself up like that. If I had done that, and we hadn't gotten so far into talking but to action, well, I blame myself as well. It is hard, sometimes, to make the wonders of nature follow your rules, even with both feet on the ground as a witch. Maybe that was such a warrior's sign for us today. I am not sure the path she has set me on is leading to anything that I expected it to.
Will that be who she becomes? She hopes not. And so, we leave you two, most likely camping somewhere in the luminous woods, in a secluded, sheltered place. As for Isella, well, eventually, the Sable Guard will arrive at that location, find her there. She will tell them of what happened, that the bandits have got away, and unfortunately, those she was travelling with decided to join them. But they'll all be long gone by now. And she'll ride back, thinking about the day, full of anger, but maybe also thankful that she might be able to cover this all up. Hopefully it won't blemish her reputation as a knight. Far away now from the cloister, heading deeper into the Dark Ridge Mountains, Darian looks back one last time. He thinks it's a good thing that other group didn't know about the secret tunnel that runs from under the cloister all the way down to the cave at the bottom of the hill. They might not have been able to avoid the Sable Guard otherwise, if not for that tunnel. It seems it's time to move on again. He looks between what remains of his crew, now just Tusk the Orc, and Yelda, his ward. A woman with yellow hair, barely older than 20 years or so, looks back at him, quickly checking her crossbow. She will always be grateful for the lengths he's gone to protect her. There is after all no one else left in the world now who would. Now her family and her home are long gone, burnt in the fires of war. Darian has failed in many things, but he somehow still has kept his one promise to his liege lord. To protect his daughter no matter what. Even if they have fallen this far, that one thing does keep him going, as the group move on to an uncertain future. Elsewhere, an old man sighs with relief at the good news. His stepdaughter is safe. He was beside himself with worry during the night, when she suddenly vanished without a trace. Now, he hears tell, she was kidnapped by bandits. Luckily, she managed to escape. Then she went back to personally try and track them down. He thinks her mother would be proud of their brave daughter. He misses the mother so much. He truly regrets more than anything that her son and daughter were not able to be back in time before her illness took her so suddenly. It was hard for him, and the companionship he found with the cook of the house afterwards certainly has helped him think that maybe one day he will be able to move on, but not yet. No, the memory of his former wife is still strong. He only wishes Isella would feel more welcome in the manor. She's been so distant since she properly returned home. If only he knew what could be done to make her happy again. Isella will have some time to think on the events that happened today. Perhaps in a way, things worked out better than she would have thought. Perhaps this was a sign from the gods to rethink how she feels about the situation. Perhaps she was not truly seeking justice for her mother after all, but merely satisfaction for herself. She certainly does not wish to become like the travellers she met today. Uncaring, and so willing to drop everything for personal gain. And so, two wanderers will travel on their way. But the larger scope of things, none of this today was that important. The Midden Realm has far greater problems to worry about after all. The possibility of another orcish invasion from the north, the possibility of the demons and the Shadowlands amassing and once again trying to destroy all. There are many problems. Was justice done today? Were the bandits just? Was Isella just? In the end, only the 12 really know. And they're not going to tell us today.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the adventure Justice and Noble Valor for the Dark Eye. This is a sponsored adventure by our friends at Ulysses International. The music was created by Egersonus and Lesa Listvi and was used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Visit cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for more fantastic music for your gaming table. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Nastasia Raulerson, Simon Cooper, David, and Julia for their generous support. And we'd of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you for listening, and see you soon again.